I'm chasing that greatness. That's always been my goal since I got in the NBA.
LeBron, look out! James all the way in for the slam!
I am the Laker. I'm definitely a Laker. I feel it. I'm happy as hell to be one.
The excitement that I have to be a Laker, this is kind of like a dream come true for me. I've always felt like that was like one of the historic franchises. And you look at the Lakers, being able to play for a historic franchise.
A day doesn't go by where I don't think about them.
It was always the Lakers were big brother and Clippers were little brother in LA. Now we're seeing something shift.
Kawhi Leonard made LeBron James not look athletic.
We thought LeBron James had no matchup until Kawhi showed up.
For me to be a Los Angeles Laker and play inside Staples Center, to see all that purple and gold.
James holding his left leg.
I don't think that you owe anything to another person in terms of figuring out what you want to do with your life.
I think the sky's the limit for that kid. And, his talent, his work ethic, the fact that he loved to continue to learn about how to play the game. I think the sky's the limit for him. And the kid's 23 years old. It's been awesome to be a part of it.
One of the great playoff runs of all time is complete.
LeBron's been in this league for a while now. That's the type of guy that I want to be with every single time I'm going to war. If we continue to be with one another and keep utilizing one another, man, the sky is the limit.
You have to be selfish in that and figuring out what you want to do. And there is no looking back from that standpoint.
When I heard Kyrie wanted to be traded, I had a ton of emotions. I was wondering if something I could have did better to make him not want to be traded. Is it the way that the season finished? Was it me coming back in the first place? I don't know. Listen, man, we're trying to win a championship. You're either with us or you're against us.
This is the best stretch I've seen LeBron James play in quite some time. It's about the efficiency.
I've been in this position before, so I know once the game gets going, then I'll be able to just focus on us just trying to get better and be the best team that we can be.
He's shooting like 45% from three.
This is the best start we've seen for LeBron James, too. This is the most efficient LeBron James ever.
There was an article about how playoff LeBron is real. Well, they have to understand LeBron's 1,000,000 years old, has 1,000,000,000 miles on his legs, has to take it easy. But he does flip the switch in the playoffs, so they will get better in the playoffs. But better enough to beat the Pacers in the first round, which is going to be a tough series.
He's the best on the planet.
Yeah, but minutes played already surpassing Michael Jordan.
Yep.
And still at this level with that efficiency, that conversation's still open.
James, 2 seconds, 1 second for the win! LeBron James!
They know me. They know me.
Then, the Toronto Raptors, the top 5 defense, they have to rely on LeBron flipping that switch to the next level and everyone following him. You're going to do that just when the playoffs show up? This is the year they simply don't have enough. There's not enough talent on the roster, even for the great LeBron James.
Good night, Cleveland! That is for you!
That's why I sit up here today, still in this uniform, still ready to lead this franchise to a championship, put us in a position where we can be successful.
Steps, tries it again, puts it in as the shot clock expires. First finals trilogy and first finals rubber match. I like the Warriors to win the championship this year.
To see him back on the floor. James drives past Livingston and throws it down. He said she was all city. James again from downtown. Hill misses. Rebound goes to the Cavs. J.R. Smith brings it back out. Throws it to Hill. Hill shot blocked. And we'll go to overtime. And that'll do it. Golden State survives in overtime. There's the buzzer. There's a new dynasty in the NBA. The Golden State Warriors champions once again. Back-to-back titles, 3 in 4 years, and the latest with a sweep.
I would love to see him stay as a Cavalier.
I think it's going to solidify him to stay in Cleveland.
He's too good to go somewhere and try to chase a ring. He's done that already, got 2 championships out of that. I would love to see him stay in that uniform.
You see these great, unbelievable, beautiful horses going for the Triple Crown. They have all these people here going, they're betting on these horses, they're excited, everyone's going crazy. But you see these horses that have these blinders. They don't see nothing but the finish line. And they just zeroed in on what their goal is and what the main thing is. And I try to just always stay there.
We've got breaking news. LeBron is a Laker.
LeBron James is a Los Angeles Laker for what ought to occupy the final act of his NBA story.
4-year, $154 million max deal. That's what he can sign in LA. Likely an opt-out after 3 years that could put him back in free agency or negotiate a new deal.
First of all, I'm ecstatic. I think it was the right situation, the right call for him to make. He wasn't going to get anything accomplished in Cleveland. That was obvious. You got to give kudos to Magic Johnson.
So LeBron came to this decision a few days ago. He's been letting some select people in his life know that this was coming.
On this Lakers team, you're not only the only elite player, you are the only all-star.
That's my job right now, is to show everybody that I can win with whatever.
He was like, okay, I'm not going to get a superstar. I'm going to be the guy and carry this team.
I think pressure is created by what you do out on the floor, and I know how to play the game of basketball, and that's what I will fall back on. I'll fall back on the fundamentals of the game and fall back on my knowledge of the game and the way I prepare.
It's LeBron James leading a team.
We're new to each other, so we want to improve on everything.
I'm still that man. And while they might not want to come play with me, you either play with me or I walk over you.
He is as close to flawless as any superstar we have ever seen in the history of sports.
I've beat the odds. I never put a ceiling. I never said how many years I want to play.
You know why you never seen Michael Jordan do this? Because in year 16, he was home with his feet up.
I've already exceeded that. The life expectancy of an NBA player is definitely not 16 years. I've never taken it for granted.
And here he is. He might fire one up. Get over 50. He's got it! 51!
I know what I'm going to get from LeBron. We've never seen anything like it.
James lost it, gets it back. He tried to stretch it a little bit. Now without LeBron James, and lift off the court. He hasn't missed a game this season.
How do you think this season will be remembered for the Lakers?
It's a lost season.
Dahl hurt himself, grabbing onto his leg.
This year's a throwaway year. They didn't make the playoffs. No, that's over now. You're really not sure what you got with the young guys.
This year, for the first time in nearly a decade, you are not playing in June.
You suffer now, and then at the end of the day, you will live your life as a champion.
The rumor mill is a-churning.
You said recently that it would be amazing if the Lakers traded for Anthony Davis.
It would be unbelievable to have a 25-year-old superstar. It would be amazing. Come on now. Stevie Wonder can see that.
A player like this, I roll the dice and wait till the summer. Next year, we're not taking this nonsense.
Anthony Davis traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. What does that do for the balance of power out west?
I think the most difficult part for me was just not knowing.
You got LeBron, you got AD, you're in the conversation.
You get to play alongside, LeBron, and play for an organization that's all about winning. Forget winning championships, and that's the only goal.
Man, I gotta get back to June. Figure out what your meaning is, and when you're able to do that, you're able to tap into some things that you may not even thought you was possible.
LeBron into the lane, all the way to the rim again! What a pass! Now LeBron forcing his way to the again! With authority, right down the lane, and nobody stopped him.
Drives at 2 men and scores, plus a foul. Slay it in,
there's always some good to what other people think is bad.
Look out! Oh, the crowd on their feet. That's what they came to see.
I haven't had that much rest for my body to kind of reset everything, kind of strip down the car and actually rebuild it back up.
LeBron James! Boy, you know, splitting a couple of defenders. LeBron James has put the Lakers in front. LeBron to the rim. What a fantastic driving bucket.
There were people this summer more than ever wondering if you were washed.
Yes, sir, LeBron.
You never clean.
The Lakers and the Clippers being this good at the same time.
LeBron, Claw, you can go down the list. This is the teams that everybody's been talking about all offseason.
They play with so much energy, that becomes infectious.
The battle for LA. This is, in my opinion, even greater than we thought it could be.
Now you got the stars on both teams, and not only do you have the stars, but you got the generational stars.
They already don't recognize us as a so-called LA team, but we're the LA Clippers. Y'all try to overlook us, that don't mean to me. At the end of the day, y'all gonna have to recognize us, man. We're gonna make you understand who we are.
It was always the Lakers were big brother and Clippers were little brother in LA, and now we're seeing something shift.
I think the Clippers are the best team in the West.
And I think that's just too much for him. Like, he's got to do it all the time. It's going to be a tough one.
LeBron said he's been tired of watching people play with the throne, play with his name, say he's not on top anymore. I think we're going to see him come out with a lot of added motivation.
For you, LeBron, I know you've always said you don't need any extra motivation.
But I got something this summer.
We're not talk mode, though.
Oh.
But I'm not in talk mode. My mom told me. I wish I could elaborate a little bit more.
When you're on this desk, you're
My mom told me, she was like, listen, don't talk about it, be about it. But there's some motivation for me. There was a lot of conversations going on this summer.
James behind the back to Howard. Incredible.
That guy is amazing. I mean, it just, you know, I'm a fan of true greatness in sports. I don't care what team, what sport.
Here he goes! All the way! Look out!
Wow. He's got something to prove, and he's having a ball this year. There's a look in his eye, like, man, I found the fun again in basketball.
There's James, goes across the lane, lays it up, and lays it in. And there it is. He just became the third leading scorer in NBA history, passing Kobe Bryant.
I'm happy just to be in any conversation with Kobe being Bryant. You know, seeing what he was able to accomplish, winning championships. Now I'm here in the Lakers uniform, just admiring him for so many years.
Kobe Bryant is dead at the age of 41 due to a helicopter crash just north of Los Angeles.
Tonight we celebrate the kid that came here at 18 years of age, retired at 38, and became probably the best dad that we've seen over the last 3 years, man. So in the words of Kobe Bryant, Mamba out, but in the words of us, not forgotten. Live on, brother.
It's too soon. I mean, way too soon. This was the guy they grew up on, a true iconic guy.
You want to be great at something, and you want to be the best at something. You become so driven that you won't let nothing stand in the way of it. Me wearing the oversized jersey, me wearing the finger sleeve, me wearing his shoes, just showing the appreciation and the love that he gave us. A day doesn't go by where I don't think about him. A day doesn't go by where our organization does not remember him.
Who right now in the NBA universe has the most pressure in Los Angeles?
When you're a Laker, everybody's gonna say something about you.
Patrick Beverley set the tone for the entire game. It's an honor to watch him play.
We have a lot of room to improve. We're a new group that's coming together. We have a new coaching staff. We have a new system.
We still building. It's the first game, the first time all of us played with each other.
Right now, with them being both at their peaks right now, as far as talent is concerned, this will be a heightened rivalry between these two Los Angeles teams.
It's exceeded everyone's expectations. You have multiple All-Stars.
I think the Clippers are the best team in the West.
Then you got the Lakers. Then after that, it don't matter.
I'm right now not in talking about it mode. I've been very quiet this summer for a reason. My mother always told me, don't talk about it, be about it.
The strength again. Kawhi Leonard guarding LeBron James. Drives past him. Layup is good. This building is filled with Laker jerseys. James drives. Layup. Count it. And the foul.
The game has been postponed between the Jazz and the Thunder tonight. Still awaiting official word from the league office as to exactly why they've determined not to play tonight.
We've been reading about this, dealing with this, talking about this for the last 2-3 weeks. So it's finally hit our country.
Some guys are going along fine, and then their game just falls off a cliff. Do you worry about that at all?
No, I don't. Because my game is so multi-dimensional that I can actually camouflage some parts of my game that can make a decline and actually still be productive.
The NBA and the NBPA released an update. The NBA returns.
The rules are for everybody. It's a championship, it's a championship. You go to play, you go to win.
While Staples Center has been the mecca of basketball this year, all eyes are on Orlando as the NBA restart unfolds.
What I've learned being a Laker is that the Laker faithful don't give a damn what you've done before. You got to do it with them as well. They don't care about your resume at all. You got to do it as a Laker, then they respect you. I've learned that.
If you remember when he first came here 2 years ago, a lot of people loved the move, but a lot of people weren't happy and said he had to really earn his stripes, but everyone wanted to put him on that Laker Mount Rushmore already. He's in the process of earning everyone's love and respect.
These games, they separate themselves right here with the Clippers.
This is statement defense.
Isn't that terrific?
It's statement defense right here. I'll be here to see you.
4-second difference. LeBron on the fly. Got his own miss and puts it up and in.
We always talk about this all the time. Do you let LeBron go for 50 and 60 and shut everybody else down, or do you try to stop LeBron? Because every time you try to stop LeBron, he's the true definition of a great player.
When it's all said and done, he'll be an all-time Laker great. He'll be an all-time Laker favorite. And him and AD will be able to hang their jerseys up there one day.
That man, Anthony Davis, it's time for him.
You know, the Lakers came out and smacked him in the mouth. I didn't see a lot of fire.
LeBron off the ball. LeBron!
He's one of the all-time greats the game has ever seen.
I thought the Lakers dominated in the paint. You know, in the first half, the Lakers did a real good job of running them off the line.
Express yourself, LeBron James!
We're going to see what happens next.
If you're able to become victorious out of the finals, it doesn't matter who it's against. I'm just happy that I'm here.
I believe the man above gave me an opportunity, gave me a gift.
I've always been confident that we had the ability to win.
I don't know why the man above gives me the hardest role.
There's nothing worth having that's easy. It comes with the territory, and you learn how to deal with it throughout experience. For me personally, I know what my main focus is. My main focus is the game of basketball.
But it's been extremely tough. But you know, I'm here for one reason and one reason only, and that's to compete for a championship.
He is going to use the memory of Kobe Bryant to fuel this run.
Instead to be happy about. Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
The job is not done. I'm going to continue to get the work in. I'm going to continue to not sleep until the job is done. I've been as locked in as I've ever been in my career. Everything about this year is different. Everything about 2020 is different. And how am I different today than 2 years ago when I entered the finals? A little bit more gray hair in my beard.
The mind is strong no matter what's going on, no matter the scrutiny, no matter the adversity, to always kind of be even keeled.
You know, when you have all the athleticism, you have all the quickness, you have all the speed, and at that point in time in your career, I think that's when you need to sharpen your mind even more. The ones that, you know, kind of stay in the top tier are the ones who can also outthink the game as well.
Right now, we see the Los Angeles Lakers in a position to win a championship. Why? LeBron James. AD has played phenomenally, but the experience of LeBron James, the intelligence and understanding how to keep his guys locked in through the bubble period is critical.
The Miami Heat, their title hopes are still alive with one of the more surprising results in a finals game in a long, long time.
To be able to just to close my eyes and
just kind of relax myself and calm myself, take deep breaths. It's meditation.
I have to go with LA because of LeBron James and what he means and what he'll bring to the table.
Put in the work either when you're feeling great, go on the floor, put your time in on the floor, get better and better and better. Every day we're trying to work championship habits.
Davis for three. Bang! Anthony Davis from downtown. And the Lakers take a 9-point lead.
Literally everyone is going to say this thing is over.
It's okay. Our confidence ain't going nowhere. It's going to stay high. I'm going to make sure that it stays high because it's going to have to be at an all-time high to get this next win.
James head down, drives inside, layup, count it, and one. Again, defense leading the offense. He's 7 of 10 from the field and hits that as the shot clock expires. Meanwhile, LeBron James, 21 points. LeBron James nails the three-pointer. Caruso pushes it up the other way. James tries another three-pointer, puts it in. LeBron James now 3 for 4 from downtown.
One of the best games, not only of the series, John, it's one of the best games I've seen since the restart, honestly, because of what was at stake and the number of big plays and big shots made down the stretch. It was guys rising to the occasion, and it just so happens that Jimmy Butler ended up with the ball last in those free throws.
I just want to win. I've been preaching to everybody that it's going to happen. It's going to happen again next game.
At the end of the day, we just hope we make him and his family proud, and that's all it's about. And anybody that's ever stepped foot and put on the Lakers jersey, we hope we make them proud as well.
I'm extra motivated by that in his own sense.
This is when LeBron James is a nightmare to defend, when he makes up his mind that he's going to put the ball down and attack the paint area.
The power, the athleticism, the grace, and the skill.
And this one has to be so satisfying for LeBron James. He missed the playoffs last year because of the injury during the season. Lakers did not make it. There was talk about other players surpassing him as the best player in basketball.
Great start, great start, great start.
James goes to the rim once again, lays it up and in, and he's in double figures. And a timeout called by Eric Spoelstra as the Lakers go up a dozen. LeBron James caps off his 17th year with a triple-double in an NBA championship clincher. 28 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists. The Lakers 127 away all this time in the bubble. Ends up with what they all set out for as their #1 and only goal.
LeBron is thinking, I promised this guy this.
He's won now with the Miami Heat, with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Los Angeles Lakers, as has his teammate Danny Green, also his 3rd championship with 3 different teams.
You guys, come take the trophy.
Jeannie, it has been a decade of ups and downs to get to this moment right here with these guys.
I'm so damn proud of this team. World champions!
And I have a feeling that this Finals MVP is going to have a trophy named after him one day. The Finals MVP is LeBron James.
We just want our respect. Rob wants his respect. Coach Vogel wants his respect. Our organization wants their respect. Laker Nation wants their respect. And I want my damn respect too.